Hey everyone, this is Professor V, and today I'm doing something a little different. I've got some of the top students from my Calculus and Differential Equations classes here with me, and I want to give you a behind-the-scenes look of how they actually study. But we're also going to talk about something that's been on my mind, and probably yours too, AI. Tools like ChatGPT are everywhere, and while they can be incredibly helpful, they also raise big questions about how students learn. So today, I'm asking them, what are their routines? What do they do when they're stuck? And do they use AI to help them with math? Let's hear what they have to say. Can you introduce yourself, your name, your major, and one fun fact about you?
My name is Kyle. I'm a computer engineering major, and I am left-handed.
Hi, I'm Mia. I'm a biological sciences major, and one fun fact about me is that I was born in Japan.
My name is Kiran Patel. I'm a third-year student here, majoring in mechanical engineering. And a fun fact about me, I love playing tennis.
Hi, my name is Aditya, and I'm a computer science major. And a fun fact about me is that I really like to cook, and I think I can cook really well.
I did not know that. What's your typical study routine like when it comes to this class or your STEM courses?
For this class and any math-based class specifically, it's all about practice. So I do a lot of practice problems so that I'm comfortable and confident walking into an exam.
So I will do it in blocks of time. I will start out by making a list of everything I want to accomplish in that one study period. I'll put my phone on Do Not Disturb, I'll put on some classical music, and then for about 30 minutes to an hour, I'll just lock in. And then when that time period is done, I force myself to walk away.
Math is a subject that I tend to be stronger in. So for classes like this one, I tend to study maybe 3 or 4 days in advance. For instance, physics, which like mechanical engineering, you need a lot of physics. So that I need to spend more time studying.
So just go for a walk, have a meal, just don't do anything school related. And then once you do that little break, which is normally 15 minutes to 30 minutes, go back, do another session. Once that is done, rinse and repeat.
Say, for example, on a Sunday, I'm looking at my assignments that are due for the next week. I'll plan it out depending on my classes and when the homeworks are due. But I think I like to study during the day, and I can't study during the night.
When you get stuck on a problem, what's the first thing you do?
First thing I do, I take a break.
First, I try to look it up online. If I can't find anything, I just circle it and go to office hours.
2 minutes, I'm like, okay, I listen to some songs and I'm like, okay, let's go back at it. Let's review the concepts. Let's see if we can get it done. If it's very hard, I can't get it, I'll probably go to the office hours.
The first thing I do is review the lecture videos, because sometimes just listening to your thought process helps me work through, oh, that's how I need to approach this problem. If that fails, then I go to the class Discord and do some community outreach, looking for other students to see what they might suggest. And then worst case scenario, I email the professor.
The first thing I do is actually just skip it and start going to other questions, because sometimes your brain just gets caught in a loop. So if you come back to it later with a refreshed mind, you can sometimes get through it. Other times, if I don't understand the conceptual part, then I would ask an outside source. So my friends in the class, we also have a class Discord channels and stuff. You can ask there. And then if it really gets bad, then I go to AI, ChatGPT.
Do you use AI tools like ChatGPT or Wolfram Alpha when you study?
I don't think I've ever used ChatGPT.
I do not. I am very old school. I am in my mid-30s, so that all came way after my time.
I think I've used Mathway. I don't know if that's AI.
I do use ChatGPT, not really that much for math classes.
I do use ChatGPT.
So how do you personally use AI tools in a way that helps you actually learn rather than just copying answers?
I ask it to break down each concept.
Able to understand the concepts. Even if the calculations are wrong, it explains the concept really well.
It could have a lot of great things you can use from it, so I do intend to look into it.
I mean, you're doing fine, so whatever you're doing is working. But you did notice that it makes just simple computational errors mathematically. ChatGPT does, at least.
It does.
I make sure that if I do make a mistake, I'm learning from those mistakes and not actually just copying down what it's showing me on my screen.
But yeah, I mean, it's a machine. It can do mistakes.
What are some ways you think students misuse AI, and why do you think it can sometimes hurt more than help?
Because if you just put in the problem and expect it to push out an answer and just copy the answer and just never look at it again, then that's obviously not gonna help you learn.
They become entirely too dependent on it.
Just not learning from their mistakes.
I can see exactly why it gives them immediate answers.
There's like a lot of people will use AI to get their homework done.
And we have so much going on in our lives, so the thought of just getting everything done so much quicker, having the answers just handed to you, there is great appeal to that.
They will do their deadlines like a day before, and then they would like not study the concepts. And in the long run, it might harm them because as you go in the industry, as you graduate, you have to know certain concepts like foundational.
Has it made mistakes when answering physics questions? Because when I've used it to create math problems, it has made errors.
It really inhibits their ability to just grow their brain.
But when you put in a problem, it doesn't always give you the most direct solution technique. It'll take you on some convoluted route.
Yeah. So you have to kind of guide it. If you can guide it properly, it will explain the process in a similar way that you think that your professor would explain it, and that would help you learn.
You have to already have a feel for what's going
yeah.
on or know what looks correct.
Yeah.
What's one piece of advice you'd give to students trying to do better in a math-heavy course like Calculus 3, linear algebra, or differential equations?
Expect to be putting a lot of time into it.
Lots of practice.
You really need to take your time with it. That's why I start studying like a week in advance, because you can't just like blast through like 50 problems in one sitting.
Just to not get overwhelmed by the fact that the professor makes it look so easy because they've been doing it for so many years.
You have to expect to put the time in to see the results.
So people who have just gotten out of Calculus 2, I would say if you're fresh out of Calculus, go take Calc 3 or differential equations, because their concepts about integration and derivatives is fresh.
All of us, even the best of us, start off stumbling through, making so many mistakes. So just keep repeating it. The repetition will help you get so much better.
On a whiteboard or even on my iPad, I just do so much practice where I'm fully confident in my capabilities.
Such excellent tips. Thank you, Kyle.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. That's great. Thank you, Mia.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for taking your time to come do this interview with me. Okay. Just finished a differential equations exam and look how composed, ready for this interview. Thank you so much to my amazing students for being open and honest about their study habits and their take on AI. If you found this helpful, drop a like, leave a comment below, and share how you use or don't use AI in your own learning. And of course, don't forget to subscribe for more math videos, study tips, and real talk from Professor V. I'm going to ask you a few different questions because you have a unique perspective compared to the other students that I interviewed. You are the founder and president of the AI Club here on campus. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
So yeah, actually it was last summer when I got this idea. And we saw the lack of exposure of like artificial intelligence on campus. So being a computer science major, I'm trying to specialize in artificial intelligence.